All right, guys, welcome back. Now, here we have the first introduction, the official introduction of Fusion Zamasu, right? So we're gonna have a quick look at him today. He looks pretty good. He has quite a long passive, so we'll get into it in a little bit. This is his LR art. It looks like it's Worldwide Chaos and Patora, and there may even be something else. This is a really cool LR art right here. This, of course, will kick off part two of the current campaign that we have, the Future Saga campaign. So let's see, he is indeed Worldwide Chaos or Patara category, 4 key, 150%. All of this that he does, we might as well actually just look at it in an actual tap. So here we go. Let's see. The beginning of an ideal world fusion Zamasu, 4 key and 150%. Now, that's not so bad. I mean, that's still good enough for Super Battle Road Infinite History, even Extreme Super Battle Road, right? Because Extreme Super Battle Road is made or not around 200% lead. So his super attack and his 12 key greatly raises attack and defense and lowers attack. And his 18 key does the same thing but greatly lowers attack. So that is a 30% for 3 turns, and that's 20% for 3 turns. And now you see that's good in two ways. So that's a 50% raise to his LR stats, on top of which he's lowering the enemy's attack, meaning that he's just extra assuring himself that he cannot be hit. What are his stats? His stats look like the top out at 21,000, and his defense is somewhere between 10.5 and 13.5. It's pretty good. Having around 10k for those who don't go for the rainbow, of course, is that's still not too bad. 13.5 is up there on the pretty good side, right? So 18,000 attack, 10,500 defense. That's not so bad. So let's see what he does. It's quite a passive here. This is still pretty cool. So activates the entrance animation once only. So he gets one key sphere per key sphere obtained for 5 turns in the start of turn when there is another Patara category ally in the same turn. Okay, that's pretty good. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to int, so that's really good. He's an int orb changer. He gets 100% at the start of turn and reduces damage by 20%. That's period. Usually Samasu's thing is that. So he's getting only 100%, but it is an LR, but I guess any higher would be too broken with 20% damage reduction. Plus an additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super attack. A lot of units are now coming out with this. What makes it's good and bad. The bad thing is you got to actually attack, right? So you don't actually get that. You think about the Tech Vegito Blue. I mean, he's just had his easy A and he has that, right? Launches an additional super attack when launching an ultra super attack. Wow, okay, so you're guaranteed, so you're going to greatly raise, and then you're going to greatly raise on top of that. Oof. Let's see. Attacks effective against all types when key is 24, okay, plus an additional damage reduction of 2% within the same turn with each attack received up to 10. Interesting. I would rather have that have been 5 and built up to 20. Let's see. Key 1, every time the character receives an attack 5 or more times during the battle, 10% HP at the end of the return in which the character receives an attack 5 or more times during the battle, and a 70% chance of evading unarmed super attacks directed at the character and counters. The latter half's a bit wonky, but it's nice to have. Let's see, he has an active skill that massively raises attack. That's a 100% raised attack. Stuns all enemies. Wow, that's really good. Oh, stuns the enemy for 1 turn. That's pretty good. Anyone who stuns these days is pretty good, right? Can be activated after performing 5 or more super attacks during the battle. That's not so bad. So basically, you can save this active skill for when you want it, right? You need to do at least 5. So anything in the first 3 turns is not going to happen. Let's see, he has Big Bad Bosses, Dismal Future, Godly Power, Fuse Fighters, Nightmare, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. He's on Realm of Gods, Batara, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Final Trump, Fuse Fighters, Worldwide Chaos, and Battle of Fate. Hmm. I mean, let's go through the good points. The good points is it's another Patara and Worldwide Chaos lead. The good thing is Worldwide Chaos, Patara, and Future and Time Travelers, there's quite a bit of an overlap, so you can actually work that right. Just be careful with Future and Worldwide Chaos, though, because it does also come into play with a little bit of the androids, right? So let's see. You get one key sphere for 5 turns obtained when there's another Patara ally in the same turn. You'll likely run that. You'll get that because you'll want to run that alongside another future Saga ally, right? So that's pretty good. The int orbs is going to be really good, right? Depending on same type orbs, this guy could do a little bit of healing if you're really in the stick of it. 100% of stats, you probably want that to be closer to 150, but depends how it works out. But reduces damage by 20% is nice. You think that he's not a slot one unit because that would just not be enough these days. But having these stats, if you get his 18 key, you're automatically gonna get his 12 key. So you're gonna 50% raise, 50% raise. You're gonna have 20% damage reduction, right? So altogether, after he does his 18 key, then he's going to look impressive. He is going to have type disadvantage, I mean type advantage rather over Cell Max, but it still depends to how what he does because even this guy is going to struggle against the likes of Cell Max and even Red Zone, right? But it is going to take that just to get to it. He gets an additional, 2% damage reduction whenever he receives an attack within the same turn. So you start with 20 and then you get this. So it resets obviously every turn. So I suppose I mean, if it's like depending on what it is, if it's like some type neutral or type advantage that you've got, you could build that up quite nice. Type disadvantage could be quite gnarly on that. So he is super effective against all types when key is 24. So that plays in well with being an orb changer because you'll likely get that then with the additional key sphere. That makes it just a little bit easier. So that will be quite nice. This guy is not going to be nothing short of a powerhouse. That is for sure. It remains to be seen how much of a juggernaut he is. So let's see. Right, yeah, and of course he recovers 10% HP after he receives 5 or more attacks during battle. So basically, every 5th attack on that turn, he's going to heal, which you're not really going to see. It's going to be like every other rotation you'll see that, assuming he's on. The great chance to evade the unarmed super attacks and counter is made better with the counter, and it's an unarmed super attack. Curious. So that's just melee based opponents, right? Kind of curious. He does have a pretty decent link set. Big Bad Bosses is really going to help. Dismal Future gives a key, plenty of attack. That's key and attack, right? And same here. And then these are same again. This is on super attack. So he's not going to struggle for attack. And Big Bad Bosses will be his best friend right there, right? In terms of his best partner, it's going to be this. So this is the other Zamasu, right? He shares pretty much the same sort of links. In fact, he might share every single link. Nightmare, Fuse Fighter, Big Bad Bosses, Godly Power, Dismal Future, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. Outside of Fear and Faith, it is Nightmare, right? I don't know, or it might be a legendary power, but either way, this guy, he is pretty decent, and he's going to have, well, I say decent. He can still struggle because he has no defense in his passive, but with a little bit of support, this guy is still runnable. But this guy will be his best partner. Running into Super Battle Road is still possible, not Extreme Super Battle Road. The lack of defense in his passive is quite tremendous. You will notice that. But outside of that, yeah, the only other one you could possibly bring would be this guy. But again, you really don't want to run this guy unless they do what they said they might do in the future, which is to re-easy a double easy A on those of the older units to bring them up to snuff, right? Then this guy could be good because he gives Realm of Gods extreme class allies 50% defense, right? So that is a fantastic support. That factoring all the links of this guy, you are going to be insane, right? And he's also raising allies attack by 30% for the turn, right? So he's probably more runnable because you'll likely get that in super. I mean, Realm of Gods though, you actually would actually trigger in the Super Battle Road because it's still one of the hardest because you're still going up against what 4, 5, and 4. There are superclass enemies. You can lower their stats, right? And then you can give yourself a big buff. So he could be one of the better ones. As for Future Saga, it's the same as Time Travelers. It's the same as Worldwide Chaos. Now, well, maybe not so much Worldwide Chaos, but this unit will work really well when it comes to like this guy, the LR Rose. By the way, this guy will have an easy A, and these two will have an easy A right here. So this LR will kick off part two, presumably in a couple of days. It's currently Sunday, so I'd imagine this will drop Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So yeah, there's good. These extreme class bases are going to work really well. Again, you could even run Rose. You could even run Fusion Zamasu. That it all is going to be good, right? It's going to work really well alongside STR Rose, who's just had his easy A, who will give both attack and defense to the caliber of 50% because Zamasu is a Realm of Gods extreme class ally, right? So he will benefit from that. There is no doubt then that this guy is absolutely going to be a monster, but it remains to be seen how he's going to be built up. I still would say, as a slot 2 or slot 3, he's going to be perfect, but you definitely don't want to throw him in slot 1. He is the super attack first. You are to get his 18 key by design. You'll get his 12 key, and then you'll lower the enemy's attack, and you'll find that he's going to work huge. Time Traveler's Extreme Super Battle Road you could also do. Let's see. The problem with that is because there's like 4, then 3, then 4 enemies. It's absolutely insane. With the damage reduction, with his ability to stun, with his ability to lower the attacks as well, and even if he used an item like a Princess Snake, he would have 50% damage reduction alongside that. So then this comes to the case of, well, this guy's great, but should we summon him? Well, I'm actually going to try and bring up the banner because the problem is he is a straight up yellow coin LR, which is not great, and the banner sucks. But I mean, as much as great as they make these units, it is not great. I'm going to pause and come back when I found the banner. All right, yeah, so here he is. This is going to be it. By the way, the campaign will include the LR EZAs for these two, as it says. We might get another Extreme Super Battle Road stage, but here it is. So we click on this, and this is what JP had, and there's no reason to say that it won't be the same for Global, and it kind of would be. So, interestingly enough, they have put 2 LRs on this. In fact, they've even put one a decent LR accompanying him. Now he is great, but he's dropped off defensively. Offensively, he's still insane, right? He is still one of the most favorite units going for people. We like Black Rose. We need another uber strong Black Rose, right? It just has to happen. So Zamasu will come out alongside with Black Rose, who again not really worth it if you're going to try and push for the most difficult content. If you're going for collectors, if you're going because he's your favorite unit, if you're going because you need him for Future Saga or something, then sure, he is still a competent unit outside of like Red Zone and Cell Max. But this is it, right? We have a look at this, and well, granted, there are some plausible units on this, but it's not quite the caliber to spend your money on. I mean, Int Mai is ironically one of the best ones on this. So she is great for time travelers. She can lower attack, she can stun. She is useful in Extreme Super Battle Road. She has an easy A, and she even works with Peppy Gals. That's it though. This guy, these two are trash. This guy just is trash. This guy, he's great against a cell, but still trash. This physical trunks, he can be great. He massively raises attack on his super attack, but outside of that, he's just an offensive unit. Again, these two would work well together, but that's it. This guy is great. This is he transforms into a Super Saiyan on his awakening. You need a Kid Gohan, like a Teen Cell Saga based Gohan, in order for him to be really good, right? Because that's where he stacks. But he is good. There's no doubt. But really, the best unit on this outside of the new LRs is Idmai. And have fun summoning for this guy, these two. I mean, you will waste your stones and you will end up with this. That being said, it's a legendary banner, so any Vegito you ever get will trigger any one of these. And there is still a lot of really good units on this, but don't think that you just go to just LR hunt just so you can pick up one of these. I mean, yeah, you got the yellow coin banner 7th anniversary units in there, no doubt, right? You've got Goku and Hit, right? They are really powerful. Don't think you got Janemba. This guy's just had his easy A on JP, but you're hunting for these people that you don't need. Don't forget as well, I personally probably wouldn't recommend summoning unless you're close to 500 yellow coins, because the New Year Step Up banner's coming up. The New Year Step Up banner benefits the majority of the game, the majority of the players, even benefits me still. You get guaranteed category leads, guaranteed LRs. It costs 200 stones to make a run. So just don't forget that every time you spend 50 stones on this, you have just lost out on a guaranteed category or a guaranteed LR, for which you could actually get 2 LRs in a single summon. So that'll be the one thing to bear in mind. So please don't summon this so close to the new year. Not considering, well, we're on the 11th, so we've got 20 days to wait. Surely you can wait just shy of 3 weeks. All right, then that's going to be it for this video. Going to be great. If you end up summoning and you pull him, hopefully you just don't go too deep. But all the best out there. Best of luck to you. He is a great unit. It looks like he can do a really good amount of damage. He needs to go first. He is 18 key, so you can get his 12 key. He has nice damage reduction. He's going to work well with, say, like these two. He's going to work well with him, and he's going to work well with the upcoming easy A's as well, right? You're not going to get Fuse Fighter, and you're not going to get Godly Power. But for example, if we bring him up, you would get Nightmare Big Bad Boss's Legendary Power, right? And you probably and Dismal Future. So again, you will actually he will benefit a lot of people, but summoning for him is just it's just not good value. That's the problem, and he relies more on your luck than ever. All right, then. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it worthwhile and entertaining. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.